Put on your headphones, turn off the lights, and get ready. Because today you're about to hear stories that might make you see your school days in a very different light. A place that should have been safe, filled with laughter, lessons, and childhood memories. But for some teachers and students, turned into a living nightmare. In this video, you'll hear real testimonies from educators and students who saw, heard, and felt things that defy all logic. From dark figures in empty hallways to the sound of children's voices echoing in the dead of night. These are stories that go far beyond the realm of the normal. And they all have one thing in common. They happened inside schools. Are you ready to hear what the world is trying to tell us? Then take a deep breath and don't look back. The first story comes from a science teacher named Manuel, who worked at a small rural school in Mexico. One night he was asked to attend a late staff meeting, and as he left the teacher's lounge, he walked down the hallway leading to the science lab. That's when he heard the unmistakable sound of desks being dragged across the floor, which was impossible since everyone had already gone home. Driven by curiosity, or maybe something more, he headed toward the room. When he opened the door, no one was there, but as he turned to leave, he saw a child standing in front of the chemical storage closet, staring at him with completely black eyes. He froze. The boy vanished right before his eyes. Manuel resigned 2 weeks later. He never set foot in a school again. Since then, he's been haunted by recurring nightmares and still hears the sound of dragging desks, even at home. The second story comes from Adriana, a kindergarten teacher. She often encouraged her students to draw whatever came to mind, fostering their creativity. But one day, something changed. 3 children from different classes began drawing the exact same figure. A faceless woman dressed in black, always standing by the classroom window. When Adriana asked them why they kept drawing her, all of them gave the same chilling answer. She's here to take someone. At first, she thought it was just shared imagination. Until one morning, when she arrived early, she saw the dark silhouette of a woman in the window's reflection standing behind her. When she turned around, no one was there, but the drawings continued. And weeks later, a fellow teacher suffered a fatal accident just a few meters from the school. Coincidence? Or had the woman at the window kept her promise? The third story comes from a night watchman who worked at a technical high school. His shift ran from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. He was used to the silence, the creaking floors and the wind tapping on the windows. But that night felt different. As he walked past the music room, he heard notes being played on the old upright piano, even though no one was around. When he stepped inside, the room was pitch black. but the piano still vibrated as if the keys had just been pressed. Suddenly, the lights flickered and a child's voice whispered in his ear, "They don't want you here." He ran straight to the security booth, but found the doors locked from the inside. He was trapped for hours, surrounded by whispers and distant knocks echoing from the classrooms. When he finally escaped, he never went back. To this day, he refuses to go near any school, even in broad daylight. And if you think these are just isolated incidents, think again. Many of these stories come from schools built on top of old cemeteries, abandoned hospitals, or undocumented lands. And it's always the teachers and children who notice the signs first. Why? Maybe because kids still see what adults have learned to ignore. Or maybe it's because teachers, constantly surrounded by intense emotional energy like joy, fear, frustration, and even pain, become easy targets for whatever lurks beyond the veil. A teacher named Letty said that every time she taught night classes, she saw a little girl sitting in the last row of classroom 3, even though no students were enrolled at that hour. When she reported it to the administration, they told her other teachers had seen the same girl. And the most disturbing part, every single one of them described her exactly the same, down to the red ribbon in her hair. What all these stories have in common isn't just the school setting. It's the fact that they're being told by adults, by teachers who have everything to lose by speaking out, people who live by reason, who build their careers on logic and knowledge, and still they choose to tell what they saw. That alone gives each testimony a chilling credibility, after all. Why would anyone risk their reputation over a lie? These stories reveal something we might not be ready to accept. The supernatural could be much closer than we think. And maybe it's hiding where we least expect it. Between chalkboards, children's laughter, and silent hallways. Because the darkness, it studies too. And sometimes, it teaches. If you made it this far, now it's your turn. Have you ever experienced something strange during your school years? Ever felt like you were being watched, even when you were alone in an empty classroom? Heard stories from teachers who went through something no one believed? Tell us in the comments. Your story might be featured in a future video. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because here every week, the darkness finds a voice. And if you want to sleep peacefully tonight, maybe, just maybe, keep the lights on.